Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Before it goes boom, blow, how you like America now? Babylon the Great, so foul. Terror, full-blown terror, spreading like gossip for Gerardo Rivera. Terror, devil to step to the Israelite zone, but they all get enslaved with the scriptures, baby, it's on. We too strong to have a march like a pool, but I'd rather feel my sword to your guts. I'm nuts for the truth and the knowledge of the Bible, when fucking red devils for survival with your house shine. Oh, you forgot about Christ, you crooks, enslaved his holy people with the good book you took. Mercy, mercy, you was bloodthirsty. Now you wanna go to heaven first, see, but pardon me, while the angels and you call UFOs are beaming us up, you gon' get struck with the bomb.
Right, to invade with the streets. America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got to invade with the streets. America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got to invade with the streets. America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got.
And so as we say goodbye to our dark friends and neighbors,
America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got to invade with the streets. America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got to invade with the streets. America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got to invade with the streets. America get ready to be bombed with the nukes and it's got. Fire in the sky.
I'm your host, I'm Priest Kazakia. Once again, we're live here in the studio today. If y'all have any questions, we don't do it a lot, but you can call us live, okay? And we got to remember to remind you, brothers and sisters, we are live. So you can call us when the live number comes on the screen. You can go ahead and call in if you have any comments or questions, okay? Once again, we're the Hebrew Israelites, and our school is the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge, okay? And we're located here in Houston, Texas. And the goal is to teach these people that are scattered through North, Central, and South America and through the world of Negroid and Indian descent that they are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible and history. That's the main point of our show. And we hit on various topics. Last topic, we touched on the Halloween and brought out those lies and showing how that's not biblical, okay? We have our classes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Saturdays, as you see here. And also our live shows on Ustream, our live classes, I should say. And the classes are a little more extensive. They go from these times, as you see here. So if you want to tune in, you can check us out on various platforms. Check out all our old YouTube videos. You can check those out also. And if you have any questions or comments outside of the shows, you can call us 832-643-1359 or Priest Tahawam. His number is on Ustream also, okay? And that'll be the text number today. So if you don't want to call in, you can text us on that number if you have any comments or questions. We'd like to thank all you brothers and sisters that have been tuning in to us. Thank you for all your positivity and all your positive comments. We do get a little, a few scoffers here and there. But otherwise, we get a lot of positivity, and we appreciate that, okay? And we like to say shalom to our comrades, brothers and sisters in San Antonio and Georgia, Banabad, Kawakab, Mashaba, Awarnai, Shamshwan, and a special shout out to High Priest Yeshaya, okay? So shalom, right. So Priest Tahawam, what are we going to touch on today? What's the topic?
Well, we got a lot of brothers and sisters, again, like you said, to tune in. And they're watching our shows. They're watching Ustream. They're coming into the truth. They're hearing it on Facebook, stuff like that. And the first thing that you have to understand is when you try to get doing something good, Paul said I have found that where good is, evil is also present with me. So what you're going to understand is when you try to come toward the truth, when you try to come to the Most High, you're going to get tried. He's going to try you to see if you're worthy of stepping in his arena, of teaching the truth, of being able to be entrusted with the mysteries that have been hidden from ages, that he reveals through the scriptures, that he reveals through your teachers. And the first thing that's going to happen is he's going to try you. And another thing is you got Satan that wants to take you. He wants to take that away from you. He wants to take that prize away from you, first thing. So the first thing he's going to do is he's going to kill you with your love. He's gonna try to take away family members. He's gonna try to take away loved ones, friends. They're gonna try to separate from you real quick, and that's gonna be a spirit that's put on them to go ahead and dissuade you or discourage you from the truth. So we're gonna go over some scriptures, and hopefully our young brothers and sisters will be able to, eat and grow off of this, because we don't do this just to kick knowledge to you. All right, the scriptures say it, and when you read 1 Corinthians 13, he tells you knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth, and that's what we want to do. Is we want to do this through charity, and give you, not have you give us, but give you what the scriptures have to offer you, and show you and prepare your mind for the life that you're going to live in the truth.
Yeah, and that's what code we should live by. And we went over that when we went over the vainglory. When we went over the vainglory show, that's the whole purpose. It should be the whole purpose of us as Israelite men,
Right.
not to come into an organization and try to create that environment of gangs, or created a hostile environment of threatening and just madness. You know what I mean? The same thing from the world. So it should be about the charity, the love, and these scriptures. And what you're going over is perfect, because it is like a preparation.
Right.
We call it the fine print. When we
Right.
talk about this topic, we call it the fine print.
Right, the fine print doctrine.
Yeah, because a lot of brothers and sisters, they start to follow the knowledge, get in the knowledge, and then all these things happen to them, and the world is turned upside down, and then they start to doubt and second question, instead of going into the scriptures and fortifying themselves with the knowledge.
Exactly.
So
And
it's a good topic.
oh yeah, because Satan he wants to work on the psychology. If you know anything about psychology, they practice on the little mice, and they don't want them to go a certain way, so they put a little electric buzzer there and they shock them, and it programs in their brain, don't go that way. And that's what happens with Satan. He wants to program you to leave the truth alone.
Yeah.
He puts that little shock to you. All of a sudden your girl leaves you. Your mom don't want you in the house no more. She wants you to, the people that used to support you and help you. You know what I mean? You can stay with us till you get a good job.
Right.
All of a sudden, get out.
You know what? Just on that point, man, Satan tries to destroy you with the semantics.
Right.
And that's where you got a lot of brothers, all the confusion online and YouTube and stuff like that. We were talking about this in class. That's why I'm bringing it up, because we were talking about the same point, which is, it tried to persuade you just to, I'm going to just go ahead and study by myself.
Right.
Well, brothers and sisters, that's what got a lot of brothers in the problem we're in now.
Right.
It's like they went to study themselves and said they wanted to engraft some of the world, or what they learned from the world, in the knowledge, which has brought more confusion, to these young brothers. So not only is it their family, is it, people around them, now it's that spirit of a double-minded, to keep them away from actually getting in the Bible, getting in the knowledge, and changing their life.
Right. And, the goal of this show is to do exactly what they were doing in Acts.
Yeah.
We were going to read from Acts 14, verse 24, I believe it is. 14, verse 22, sorry. And this is exactly what the purpose of the show is we want to do the same thing Paul was doing, Peter was doing, the apostles were doing, for these young brothers, for these young people that just got the truth, just got the knowledge, and they're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Why did this happen to me? That shell shock hits them. You know what I mean? So this way that shell shock can be eliminated as y'all brothers come in and y'all sisters come in. You can go ahead and read these scriptures and be comforted by them. All right, but read that.
Acts chapter 14, verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith.
Right, so we want to confirm the souls of the disciples. We want to go ahead and make sure your spirits are firm, make sure y'all good. And so that's what this message is for, is to confirm the spirits of the disciples, keep you on a sure path, on a straight path, and help guide you through that first little process of learning the truth and living the truth. There's one thing to be able to hear it and, oh, Jesus is black and the apostles are black and everybody's, dark skinned and I'm a Jew and all that. Okay, that's beautiful. But there's going to come a time where you a certain point where you're going to have to start living it. The Most High requires of you certain things, and He's going to want you to live it. Whether you're going out passing out flyers, or you have a skill that you are to commit to the brethren, or to commit to the brothers and sisters around you, whether you're good at parenting or whatever, the Most High is going to require from you. He said it, to whom much is given, much is required.
Absolutely.
So this is what's going to happen, and we have to confirm the spirits of the disciples, of you young disciples, and show you that this is what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
To try you. All right. Go ahead.
And that we must, through much tribulation.
We must what?
Through much tribulation.
Right. He said we must, through much tribulation. Go ahead.
Enter into the kingdom of God.
Right. So through many trials, through much hardship, through many hard times, and whether it be depression, whether it be people abandoning you, whether it be loss of riches, loss of income, whatever it is that it is going to cause you tribulation. That's what Satan's going to try to hit you with. If you loved your family in the world and you was a good family man, he's going to take that from you, because he wants you to say, oh, that's what the truth did to me. And then you veered the other way. He wants you to see that, he wants to show you that, listen, if you go that way, I'm going to hurt you. Right. And that's going to be the first smokescreen he tries to throw. He's going to take what you love. And the Most High is trying to prepare you through the scriptures and show you that you must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of God. And you know what? That's why a lot of these cats don't want to deal with the New Testament. They want to say it don't exist, because this is a requirement of the New Testament.
Yeah.
It's not like the old, where you just give your sacrifices, do whatever you felt like, live wherever you felt like, be separate. That's how we were doing in the Old Testament, until the righteous tried to unify us. You know what I mean? But every time the righteous would try to unify us, the nation will come against them. Historically, Old Testament. So now we're seeing in the New Testament that this is a requirement of following Christ, of following the Most High, is that if you love Him, you have to give up everything. You have to lose things. You have to go through much tribulation to get into the kingdom of heaven, to get into the kingdom of the Most High. So that's what we're, preparing y'all for, because a lot of y'all don't get prepared in the shows.
No.
They
go to the YouTube, and it's mostly a lot of street speaking. Right. And we said it, and we're gonna say it again, brothers and sisters. A lot of the street speaking is for it's fishing. It's to get people's attention.
Right.
But there's a lot much more than street speaking. There's a lot much more. We always say it when you come to class, is that after you find out Christ is black, after you find out that this world is wicked, then what? It's a lot about you, your spirit, your inward man, and working on that. Learning how to be a better husband, a better leader, a better father, in controlling your mind and your spirit. Those are the things that really get down to business when we deal with brothers and sisters. Those are the things where it says, putting off the old man, putting on the new. Right. A lot of the tribulation is going to come from that, because now I'm not hanging around with my old weed partner. I'm not doing that no more. I'm not doing the old stuff. I'm putting on the new things.
Yeah, R&R is over. The rest of relaxation is
done.
Right. Going out and partying every Friday night and everything like that, that's done. Right. And you're taking on this new life, and then all of a sudden you've already put away the pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You've already you've already said, okay, on Friday night to Saturday night, I'm not gonna be out partying and smoking weed. I've put away these other things, right? And now on top of that, I'm losing things. Right, I'm losing these things that I loved. And so, now you're in this tailspin. Now it's, what am I gonna do? Now you're in this confusion. Well, the scripture has already provided the
solution.
Yeah, the solution for you, the pathway. So we're going to go from there. So to eliminate this confusion, go to Matthew chapter 10 and verse 34. We're going to read through verse 39. All right. And, again, it's to eliminate that confusion, eliminate that, when you go to church and he tells you to buy your prayer cloth, and, you go buy your prayer cloth and spend your $1,000 and everything, and all of a sudden, the new SUV pops up. Well, you're being shoveled lies the whole time. Right. So Satan doesn't have to battle against you. You're already on his team. Right. You know what I mean? There's no fight, no conflict. Right. And that's what I really want to clear up with Acts 14 and 22, is that you must through much tribulation. You understand? It's not if you go to some camp and they're just, we're going to show you a trade, and and you're all of
Right.
a sudden just going to come up and make money and
Yeah.
everything.
Because it's not about a come up.
Right.
What's the difference between us and the churches? It's supposed to be that it doesn't supposed to be about that.
Right.
It doesn't supposed to be about the financial gain. Yes, once again, let's not be ignorant. Everybody needs money and finances to survive, but that can't be our whole theme and goal.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
it shouldn't be about that.
Right. So then, to eliminate all that, you're not just going to get a new Bentley dropped out in the parking lot for you.
Right.
When you get the truth. It's actually going to be the direct opposite. You might lose your Bentley.
Right,
You
right.
might lose your gold chain. You might lose things. And not because you gave them to us and,
Right.
we
We
required
took
of
over
it.
your Bentley.
Right. Well, because this is the condition of the battle.
Right.
This is what is required, that the Most High will strip you sometimes.
You know what? Just on this same point is that a lot of those blessings you might lose, but then they might come back.
Right.
They're gonna come back down the road.
Right, right.
They're gonna come back and be given through the Spirit of the Most High to show you how to appreciate them.
Exactly. And better.
And show you who to put your trust in.
Yeah.
So we're not saying that because brothers and sisters think that you can't be successful.
Right,
And
right.
we're not saying that.
Right.
We're not saying that because you can be successful, but at the same time, there's certain specific things that must happen, and that's written that will happen to us. We're going to read it.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're gonna need humility first of all. Your first step is gonna be humility. It's gonna be breaking yourself down and being a humble human being. Now, a lot of rich people that are rich in this world, don't have humility equipped to themselves.
Yeah.
Or they've lost it somewhere along the way. They don't know how to be a good steward over things and themselves anymore, because they've been so much, oh, okay, I got servants now, they take
Yeah.
care of that. You know what I mean? I got people that take care of that. So I don't need to really do the nitty gritty, to get my elbows dirty. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't have to do any of that. So now they've lost their humility.
Yeah.
So this is what's required of the Most High, though. This is a basic. That if He's going to entrust you with knowledge above knowledge, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's out in the world. If He's going to entrust you with the power that the Scriptures contain, He's not going to give it to somebody that has no humility.
Yeah,
That will
absolutely.
use it for just so they could hit on women. Or-
That's what we have now.
Right.
This is what we have now. We see what happens when people are not guided by the Holy Spirit,
Right.
by the Word, and they have riches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The alcoholic just don't all of suddenly just become not an alcoholic.
Right.
He becomes more of an alcoholic, and he gets more into drugs, and he gets more into those things.
Right. Right.
So that's for a lot of people that wonder why they can't just get that blessing.
Right. Right.
The Most High don't want you to have it.
Yep. So, just again, to prepare you, you're going to lose. And Christ showed you this in the basic scriptures that we always go to, and you've heard them many times. Now you're having to live them. So, just, to eliminate that confusion, it was read to you. You saw it.
Right.
But you didn't think you were going to have to live it. So that's where the shock is coming from. But calm down and just go back and go into your basics. And let's read this. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Right. Christ didn't even come to send peace on the earth. When Christ came, the herald of his coming was the death of the innocents, right? Herod sent out the decree to kill all the males 2 years old and under. So he showed you just in his coming that he didn't come to bring peace on the earth. He wasn't going to make it where everybody loves you, everybody likes you. Once you get the truth, now people want to go to war with you. Now they can't stand you. They don't want to be around you, because why? You represent something that they don't want to do and they don't want to be. And they know they can't be. And it's not in them, because the elect have obtained it and the rest were blinded, as you read in Romans chapter 11. All right, but read that again.
Think not that I have come to send peace on earth.
Right, so this is Christ. He said, think not that I came to send peace on earth. Go ahead.
I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Right. I didn't come to bring peace. I came to bring a sword. And if you know what a sword does, it cuts. All right. It cuts and it destroys lives.
Right.
Go ahead.
For I am come For I am come to set a man at variance
Right. He came to set a man at variance, meaning at battle. He's going to make them disagree. Go ahead.
against his father.
Right. So a man, you're going to be at variance with your father all of a sudden. Now if your father's still around, if you're one of these 12 tribes, a lot of your fathers ain't even around. So that eliminates that right there. But think of it as your mother, your guardian, whatever. He's come to set you at variance with that person.
You
Once
know
get that
what,
truth.
Priest Awam, this is something we got to ask ourselves. When you were a Christian and in Christianity, everybody liked you.
Right.
It was not a problem. Those same men, because we get a lot of brothers. One of our new brothers just coming to school now, he was a minister, and he was fine.
Yeah.
It was all fine. But all this, you're showing them one thing out of the Bible, the same thing you were doing.
Right.
But now you're bringing out things that they didn't see, that you didn't see. The color of Christ. The whole world is turned upside down over that one basics that the Bible teaches.
Right. Now you're in a cult.
Now
Because
you're
you
in a
opened
cult,
the same
right.
Bible you were using as a minister.
Right.
You opened that same Bible to show them the truth, and now you're in a cult. Now you're wicked.
Could I get this one right where you're at?
Go ahead.
I'm probably jumping too on this, but St. John 15:18.
Oh, go ahead.
If the world hated you, know that it hated me before it hated you.
Right.
Just showing that this separation, why your father is going to be at variance,
Right.
because it hated Christ first.
Right. Right.
The world don't love the truth. They don't love the knowledge of the Most High. It's not about the scriptures. It's about keeping calm, keeping everybody at so-called peace, and passive with the lies.
Right.
But
you gotta ask yourself, well, what am I doing if everybody loves me?
There you go.
You know what I mean? Well, whose
Exactly.
side am I on?
Exactly.
Right. Go ahead. Read that. Back in Matthews.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father,
Right.
and the daughter against her mother,
Go ahead.
and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Right. So this is going to basically separate family, friends, acquaintances. It's going to separate. Why? Because again, some of them don't want the truth, and they think their life is hunky dory. They're fine with slavery. They're content with the slave mind, the slave mentality. I'm institutionalized. If you ever dealt with somebody that was in jail, right? They get institutionalized, meaning after 10 years of being in jail and being told wake up at 2 in the morning to go eat, or go at 6 in the morning to go eat, and then wake up again at this time, or you sleep when we tell you. After all that, knowing that somebody else is going to do for you or make something happen for you, and that's where your food's going to come from and all that.
What come out in the world. Stockholm?
Oh no, it's institutionalized. Stockholm syndrome, where you actually love the slave master.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
That's what I'm talking
And that's a whole nother section that they got that Stockholm syndrome. So once you tell them, oh, Christ is black, the Jews are black, the other nations, the Most High didn't give the law to. Oh, well, not massa. What about the white man? Are they getting in? Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to be separating very friends with this doctrine, with the new knowledge that you have.
Right.
All right. And again, this is for those that are new to the truth, just coming in. Maybe you've been in a few months or a year or so, and you're just getting to know that you have to live the life now.
Yeah, and that's why, and this is a constant theme that we always bring out too, is that that's why it's important to not be a novice.
Right.
That if you strive for masteries, you must strive lawfully. And take your time to get in the knowledge. That way you don't jump ahead, and because brothers, we've seen it before. I'm going to go open up a camp. You've been in the truth a year, and you really didn't know that now you're going to have to commit to a lot of people.
Oh yeah, you're accountable to for those people, for their spirits.
Right. Because we've seen it before. Young brothers that really haven't even learned how to take care of their own house.
Right.
They want to do it because they got a zeal, but it's not according to knowledge.
Right. Right.
Take your time, brothers and sisters. Learn the basics. Be accountable in the school you're in, whatever camp you're in. Be accountable in there, and learn to be a good example in that. And then the Most High, down the years, He's going to give you the strength to bear that burden.
Exactly. You know, and then until that time, he's going to prove you. That's
Right.
how you get strong.
There you
know
go.
what I mean? You
There you
don't go
go.
in the weight room and just grab hey, put 845s on each side and
Right.
just start slamming them out. No, you go in there, you start bench pressing the bar, you realize how
Absolutely.
weak you are, and or how strong you are, and then you, okay, put some more weight on. So that's what the Most High is going to do for you. He's going to prove you. He's going to show you who you are, what kind of strength you have, and what kind of strength you don't have. And you're supposed to have your eyes open to see, oh, I'm not as strong as I thought. Or, you know what, I do need strength here. Thank you, Yahweh, for showing me those things.
Right.
Not, I'm useless, I'm garbage, I'm weak, I'm gone. No, you're supposed to get in there, find out where your weaknesses are, and then strengthen them.
Let me add one right with what you're
of course.
saying. This is Ecclesiastes 2, verse 5 in the Apocrypha.
Mm-hmm.
For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So just right what you're
right.
saying, you know, all these situations that you're put in is to try to see if you're really committed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of brothers and sisters don't know. The Most High wants a brother or a sister that's really going to be committed, not part-time, not I believe in Jesus with my mouth, but my actions are far from.
Right, right. And you know, this is similar when you see any chosen person, Old Testament or New, they all went through this process.
Right.
You look at Joseph. He was the favorite son of Jacob, you know, gave him the coat of many colors, threw all
Right.
the riches on him, gave him the promises and all that. And what did the Most High do? Threw his ass in a hole, sold him into slavery, put him in jail, right?
But he was the loved one.
Right, but he was the favorite, right?
Right.
And that's the thing is why? Because it was to prove him, okay, while you're in jail, while you're in that hole, who are you calling on? Are you cursing the Most High? No, he's still calling on the Most High. Good, pull him out the hole. Okay, now you're a servant. And you're dealing with this situation. Okay, you know what? He's got clothes on his back. He's living okay. He's a servant. Let's destroy him even more. Throw him in jail. You know what I mean? Let's see what happens when you throw him in jail and when you break him down even more.
Job.
Right.
Job, the perfect example.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
One right with that. Hebrews 12, verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chastiseth.
There you go.
Right? And scourgeth every son who he receives.
There you go.
Right?
Right.
If ye endure chastening, the Most High dwelleth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chastiseth not? Right. So just what Matthew 10 is going over.
Exactly.
We have to go through this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he has to prove us and to see if we're real.
Right, right. And we're going to go even further up in Hebrews later on.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
See, I'm
but
jumping ahead.
read on.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Where will his foes come from?
Of his own household.
From his enemies?
Of his own household.
From people he hated his whole life anyway.
Of his own household.
Nah, don't be surprised. Your enemies are going to come from your own household. They're not going to come from strangers. They're not going to come. It's not going to be the white man trying to press you down. It's going to be Israelites. It's going to be people you trusted in your whole life.
Mama, daddy.
There you go. You know what I mean? People
Yeah.
that changed your diapers and fed you, you know what I mean, are going to want to kill you. You know, as we go into the other scriptures, you're going to find out they're going to deliver you up to death. They're going to try to sell you out, basically.
Yeah.
And so this is what is meant to prepare you. These scriptures are meant to prepare you for these things. That, yes, you lost. Yes, you've lost everything. But if you focus on the Most High, he will repay. He will give. He's not unrighteous to forget your works and labor of love. All right. Read on in that.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
See, now when he takes those things from you, if you decide, you know what, I can't handle this, man. I got to get on their good side. I got to take care of them. I got to make sure my mom and my dad are happy with me. If you love them, if you prefer them, not saying don't love your mother and father. That would be against the commandment. Honor your father and mother. That's the commandment. What he's saying is that if you prefer them over what you're supposed to do for the Most High, if you care about their feelings and how they feel about the truth more than what the Most High requires of you, then he said you are not worthy of him. Read that again.
He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
Right. So you're not worthy of him. Read on.
And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
See that? So if you love your kids, the people that pop out of your loins, if you prefer them over the life of the truth, if you want to, you know what, man, I don't want to go out teaching or flyers or answering phone calls or doing text
Meetings,
messages or
charity,
yeah, if you
charitable works.
exactly, you don't want to open up of yourself. Then because you want to be with your family, you know what I
Right.
mean, you want to be with your kids and take care of all their little cries. Well, you're not worthy of the Most High.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 38, and he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me.
Right. So really, it ain't Satan that did it to you when you lost, when you got the truth and you lost things,
Yeah.
or people peeled away from you. It's the Most High proving you to see if you're worthy of Him. Go ahead.
Sir.
He that findeth his life shall lose it.
Right, and this is the main thing. If you once you find your life, once you decide, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pursue my career in acting, or I'm gonna be a doctor or whatever. Once you go try to find your life, he said what?
He that findeth his life shall lose it.
He will lose it. So you're gonna lose that and the life that the Most High had waiting for you.
You know, it's something you said in the beginning of the show that was very important. This is to the new brothers and sisters that's trying to come back to the Most High.
Right.
You know, this ain't to everybody.
Right.
Because everybody ain't gonna choose this path.
Oh no, no. You know, that's the problem is, when you read the scriptures, you have to live this. He said, be you doers of the word,
Right.
and not hearers only. So once you break out of the church mind state of being a hearer only, now you're in the doing stage.
Yeah.
And that's where you've shucked laziness.
It's
That's
hard,
where-
man.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's a terrible pull. And that's why, the government's trying to dope us up and making marijuana legal and things like that, is because they want us to stay in that slothful mind state. That's
Yeah.
one of they even call it one of the 7 deadly sins.
You know, and this is not mockery or in a way to, break down our young brothers, but there's still a lot of our young brothers and sisters, man, that's still living with their parents at an old age, excuse me.
Right.
At an old age. And the thing is that the Most High throws you out there and makes you bring forth for Him. So when that is foreign to you, when you haven't really even learned life things, this becomes even that much more harder to give your spirit to the Most High.
Oh, yeah.
So it's definitely a trial.
No doubt. No doubt. And again, it's to prove you. It's to, okay, what's he gonna do without mom and dad?
Yeah.
What's she gonna
Exactly.
do without her crutch? You know what I mean?
Right.
Is it gonna make her or break her when she has to go live life?
Right.
And that's the thing. Like I said, when you're dealing with church, when you're dealing with certain camps and stuff like that, they're okay with you having crutches. They're okay with you leaning on the world and double dutching and things like that. But the Most High said, if you're lukewarm, He's going to spew you out of His mouth.
Right.
You can't serve. He clearly said it. You can't serve the Most High and mammon. You
Right.
can't go after riches and serve the truth.
Right.
You don't read about rich Elijah, rich Moses, you know what I mean, and all
Right,
this
right.
stuff. You read about guys that got broke down, thrown into the desert for years,
Right.
and then brought back to their people humble.
Right. We
Ready to
forget
serve.
when Christ picked the 12 apostles up, He said, stop what you're doing, come follow me.
Right.
He didn't say continue that.
Right.
You know what I mean? When they were doing it, it was for the people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those same fishermen were fishing the actual food, and they were giving it out to the people. So,
Exactly.
what you were doing in the world now is converted to doing for your nation.
Right. Hey, go ahead. You're at the end of Matthew's.
The middle.
Matthew.
Verse 39.
Oh, go ahead. Read the rest of that, man.
And he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it.
See, those that lose their life, those that decide, you know what, I'm not worried about that old life, the old friends, the old family. You can take whatever you want from me. It's me and the Most High anyway. Once you lose your life for His sake, that's when you're going to find it. That's when He gives to you.
There
That's
you
when
go.
You start saying, you know what, okay, he's worthy because He didn't leave me to go chase that.
Right, and that's why the point earlier that was said was, it's not saying that you're not going to have a job, you're not going to have finances, and you can't have a Bentley.
Right.
Brothers have had those carnal possessions before.
Right.
And that's fine, but at the same time, where is your heart?
Right.
Where is your treasure? And it will be revealed, because as you come in and you try to give your spirit to the Most High is going to try you. Right. And if it's about money and you don't get it, if it's about women
Right.
and you don't get it,
Right.
you'll be gone.
Right. Yep. Yep. Once you see yourself lacking in those things you had from the
Yeah,
world,
you'll be gone.
it breaks you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you won't follow. As a matter of fact, go to 2 Timothy 2 and 4. And right on that point even, you're going to see that if you had it in the world, you're going to lose it. You know, if you didn't have it in the world, then that's probably why the Most High called you. You know what I mean?
Right,
Because
right.
now you're at your basic level and you
Sir.
need him. That's all you got left. So, you know, you need him as your crutch. You know, and that's why it's good, you know, for the poor is that they ain't got nothing. That's why he hates a poor man with pride. You know?
Right, right.
Because, like, you ain't got nothing and you still batting my hand away.
Right.
You know what I mean? You still try to reject my wisdom and my upgrade. that he hates a poor man with pride. But check this out. Read that.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4. No man that warreth entangled himself with the affairs of this life.
Right. See, and that's the thing. You know, you can roll some of them pictures and stuff, but a man that is at war, he don't sit there thinking about his woman and his, you know what I mean, his little toys at home. And man, I wish I could be playing right now. You know what I mean? Picture a guy look like this. You know what I mean? He's sitting there thinking about being at home with tossing his kid up in there. These cats are the conquerors. You know what I mean? And Christ said it. He said through him you are more than conquerors. So how much more should your mind be on conquering?
So I know where Israelites' minds are now.
Right.
So what about taking care of your house?
Oh, you got to take care of your house, but how does a man take care of his house? He takes care of it spiritually. He makes sure that he's the anchor so
Okay.
that they don't get blown around in the storm of the world. He
Right,
makes
right.
sure-
We got to remember that because, you know, there's a lot of brothers well saying, oh, brother, I just supposed to just not do work or not forsake my house and leave them hungry. You know, and I think the point that you're making in the spirit is that what's your priority, really?
Right, right.
What is your priority? Because all those things are going to fall in place if you're pleasing the Most High.
Oh, yeah.
But if your whole goal is for those things, you will lose those things.
We'll lose them. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And I mean, that's the thing is, you know, like I said, you're going to work in the truth or out in the world.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in the truth and your camp or whoever you fellowship with has a certain program set up,
Yeah.
you're going to have a job that you're doing for them, whether you're answering phones, calling people, getting donations for your camp or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
You're gonna be doing.
You got
that kind of
sisters
work.
on garments.
Right, you know, passing out flyers, whatever you're doing, you're going to use yourself as that living sacrifice and put your gift forward. So you're going to work. But if you go in the world, what are you going to do? You're going to work and work and work, and they're going to tell you how much you're worth.
And it's usually for you.
Right.
It's usually for you. The Most High converts everything to where you start giving back to your nation.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Instead of you just throwing it in a bag with holes,
Right.
you're going to be giving it to help people. You know, whatever you have is meant to help and deal with yourself and others. See that? And it's going to help you by dealing with them. It's going to teach you more humility, more selflessness,
Right.
all those attributes and fruits of the Spirit. You're going to learn long-suffering, meekness, joy, kindness, faith, gentleness. You're going to learn all those attributes by doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? By exercising it. You're not just going to be talking about them.
That's why it's so much more than just blotting out scriptures.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's much more than you know, the scriptures. The Most High says the foolishness of preaching.
Right.
You know, it's the actions that is gonna bring us to the kingdom. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yep. Yeah. Where you at?
2 Timothy 2, the middle verse 4.
Go ahead. Read that again from the top.
Verse 4. No man that warreth entangled himself with the affairs of this life.
Right. So you're not entangled in how much money I got, how much what bills do I have to pay, right? Your mind's not on that when you're at war. Mm-hmm. And this is a war. Whether y'all know it or not, this is a war you're in now. You've entered into a war against principalities and powers, like the scriptures say. You've entered into a spiritual war for your spirit and for whoever might be following you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You know, just on the point, me and Bonabad, we were having about a conversation about homosexuality in Georgia.
Right.
And he was just saying, man, we gotta, I gotta get my kids homeschooled. I gotta get them in, because the homosexuality is running rampant.
Oh yeah.
So now it's a carnal, it's that spiritual battle now.
Oh yeah.
To make sure their mind is right, their spirit is right.
Yep. And if you're doing that, you're not entangling yourself with, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe I should try homosexuality. You know, those kind of questions don't pop in your head when you're knowing I got to get my kids right. I got to get my wife right. I got to get myself right.
You're thinking about somebody else. You're preferring others more than yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. Read on.
that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier.
He chose him to be a what?
To be a soldier.
Right. So the reason he doesn't entangle himself with the affairs of his life and get caught up in the world and its lusts and its things, its carnal, material things, is because he wants to please the Most High. He wants to prove himself as a soldier, a fighter, a destroyer, a conqueror. You don't just want to just be, in the rat race. You don't want to just be in his little hamster wheel with his little McDonald's hat on or his little French fry cap on, flipping burgers. No, he wants to be a conqueror. Go ahead.
And if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned.
Right, and the brother brought this up earlier. If you're not crowned, if you're gonna strive for masteries, if you're gonna try to be a conqueror, you're not gonna be crowned unless what?
Except he scribe lawfully.
Unless you do it according to the scriptures, unless you go through the ranks, unless you go through the time of, okay, I'm a grunt man, they tell me to do this and I do it, you know what I mean? And then when you go up from there, you become
Right.
the person that's, okay, I'm entrusted with these men's lives, I'm entrusted with people under me.
That's why I think really, the show is about things you're gonna go through. But another point that could be brought out here is that why a lot of brothers and sisters leave the truth.
Oh, yeah.
We should name it that. Why left the truth? Because you came in and you didn't realize the things that you were gonna have to give up and you were gonna have to lose.
Right.
And you thought it was man-made. You thought it was some a cult type of mentality.
Right.
When Christ said himself that you were gonna lose.
There you go.
You know,
You're
and
gonna be a soldier.
we know it well, because there's brothers that just barely 2-3 days in class, zealous for the Most High, and already saying, yeah, my mom don't want nothing to do with me. It's like I was teaching the Bible all my life, and next you know she wants to throw me out. All these things.
First day in class.
Yeah, first day in class. So we ain't got nothing to do with it.
Right.
But it just shows that man does not have nothing to do with it.
And what it should do is, instead of discourage you, should be a proof that you are serving the Most High, because he wrote it down already.
Right.
And then you see it happen. That's proof to me. That's like, wow, if I didn't believe in the Most High because I couldn't see him before,
Now I see it.
it's evident, right? There's the facts.
An ass whooping should make it evident. You know what I mean? But a lot of brothers, our Israelite brothers and sisters, we are hard-headed as hell.
Oh, believe it. Believe it.
We're hard-headed. Like, he will strip us of everything, have us living on the street, and we still just don't get that the Most High is the power.
Oh, yeah. And I want to go to Hebrews 10, verse 32 real quick, because this way, once that hammer does hit down, you're not going to sit there being discouraged. You're going to be encouraged. Why? Because you're going to remember why you started down that path. You know what I mean? You're going to remember that what got you lit up. Well, read it. Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 32. But call to remembrance the former days.
Right. See, you're going to call to remembrance. You're going to start to remember the former days. Which days were those? Read.
In which after ye were illuminated.
Right, the days when you got lit up, when somebody illuminated you and showed you the word and showed you the Bible, that's what you're going to remember. You're going to remember your first love, like he talks about in Revelations 2. You're going to remember your first love, that, dang, okay, I know who I am. I know what I'm called to do. You know your calling, Jeremiah 1:5. He called you to be a prophet to the nations. So you're going to know these things and you're going to say, okay, you know what? I'm remembering these, and I'm going to keep that fire.
You got that first love, like you said.
The things that just happened, those are to discourage me from what I'm called to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of being discouraged, you're going to be encouraged. Okay, now I know I'm in the battle. You know what I mean? Now I know I'm really in there, because this is what the Most High said would happen.
Yeah.
I would lose. Go ahead.
Ye endured a great fight of affliction.
You did what when you got enlightened?
Ye endured a great fight of affliction.
A great triumph.
A great fight of affliction.
Life got easy.
A great fight of
You
afflictions.
endured a great fight of afflictions. When? Read from the top.
But call to remembrance the former days, in which after ye were illuminated.
Right after you were illuminated, you endured a great fight of afflictions. If you didn't know this, it's because whoever drops it to you didn't give you this scripture while they were telling you Christ was black, Moses was black, Job was black, Solomon was black, right?
Right,
They were so focused on your knowledge, they forgot to edify you and teach you and give you the charity part, which is to prepare you for the life of knowing that knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that you're going to endure a great fight of afflictions. Listen, I'm not going to teach you nothing. You know what? This is what you need to know. If I open this Bible, right? If I open this book, you know what I mean? You about to get your ass whooped. You know,
a lot of brothers and sisters, it's a game to them. They come to class, they come to this knowledge, and they really think it's gonna be like the church. I come to class, sit down, it was a good ceremony, and then I leave.
Oh yeah.
Not knowing that the Most High don't want that.
Right, right.
He wants your soul, that you present your body a living sacrifice.
Exactly. Read on.
Verse 33. Partly whilst ye was made a gazing stock.
What happened after you were illuminated?
Partly whilst ye were made a gazing stock.
Right. People started looking at you funny.
Right.
Now you getting uncomfortable about that, man. And I know this truth, man. Everybody look at me wrong. You know what I mean? They ask me why I'm growing my beard out, why I got this head covering on, things like that. Well, you're a gazing stock now. That's what he told you was going to happen right after you get illuminated. Read on.
Both by reproaches.
Right, both by reproaches, people talking about you, people telling you you're off and yeah, that's a cult and all that. So right after you got illuminated, they're going to tell you, they're going to reproach you. Go ahead.
And afflictions.
And afflict you. You're going to get your stuff thrown out on the lawn. We don't want you around us no more. Your boys don't want to hang out with you.
Yep.
No more free time, no more spare time, no more nothing like that. The boss want to fire you because you read the Bible now at work. You know what I mean?
I like to bring it to brothers and sisters' attention once again. When you got the it's either Jacksonville, somewhere in Mississippi, but you got this church group. You know, they walk out there talk about homosexuality, is kill fags, and they got signs like this. Now this is a church group,
Right.
and all that, they're still not labeled in a cult. You know, but Israelites. When you teach them Christ is black, oh, you got to be a cult. You got to be crazy.
Right.
You know, but it just shows how these scriptures are true.
Oh, yeah.
It never happened until you start learning your true identity, your true nationality, and the truth.
Yeah, it's like I told the brother, you know what I mean? I said, when you became, a worker for the city of Houston and threw that uniform on, you had a uniform on, you know what I mean? You were dressed like all the other little drones. And she didn't say nothing about you being in no cult, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's cult-like actions when you throw on the uniform and you
absolutely.
dress like the other hamsters, you know what I mean?
Right.
But they didn't say nothing. When you became a minister,
right.
you threw on your tie like all the other ministers and took everybody's money like all the other ministers. And
Right.
kumbaya your way into hell, they didn't have nothing to say.
Right.
But now when you're opening the Bible and you're actually reading it, you know what I mean? Now they have something to say. Well, that's proof.
That's why, man, it's scary. It's scary because I've seen a lot of brothers and sisters come and deal with the knowledge, and they came with the wrong mind, and they, once again, didn't know that the Most High required these things from them.
Oh, yeah.
And then so they blame it on man. Oh, you know what? I lost this. I lost that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? My wife left me here. And we're standing back like, brother, this is what the Most High did.
Right.
You know?
Like, we didn't take it from you. We didn't tell her to leave you.
Exactly.
We didn't tell your family kick you out. We didn't take your money. You know what I mean?
Right.
The thing is this is the way the Most High requires you to be.
Yeah.
When you come in, he wants to strip you of all the distractions. He wants to strip you of all the things that took your focus off of him and get you focused right on him. But you're seeing it negative.
Right.
You're seeing it, I lost this because of the Bible. No, you didn't. You know what I mean? You did, but you didn't. You know what I mean?
You got Ecclesiastes too?
Yeah.
You got that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I won't jump ahead.
But read on.
And partly whilst ye became companions of them that were so used.
See that? Right when you became illuminated, you all of a sudden became friends with people that also went through what you went through. So if you really want to strengthen yourself, talk to those people that taught you the truth. Get around them and let them enlighten you and show you that, I lost my family too. And
Right.
You don't see me with all my kids and everything in here and all my loved ones. Nah, I got kicked out too.
Right.
Usually you getting one from a field, one from a family,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and they're it. And then they build from there into the truth.
Right,
you know what I mean? So, you became a companion of them that were also used the same way. You know what I mean? You just became part of that number. From there, go to James 1 and 2 real quick.
Brothers and sisters, we are here live every Tuesdays for now. November 22nd, we want to make you aware we will be changing to Saturdays, okay? And that's for brothers and sisters that's local in Houston. It'll be November 22nd, Saturdays at what time?
From 8 to 9.
Yeah, I just want to say that in case we don't, we cut off. But 8 to 9 on Saturdays, starting November 22nd, if you tune in to us live, online or local in Houston.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Read that. Matthew, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. James 1 and 2.
James chapter 1 verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptations.
Right. When you fall into diverse, different type of temptations, you're supposed to count that all joy. When all of a sudden you getting tempted to either be in the truth and go to class or get a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, you already the Most High has already made a way for you to escape it.
Yeah.
He gave you a brother hey, yeah, you can stay at my crib, man. Just study. You know what I mean? Do
Right.
the work. Do work with me. I lost too. I was in
Right.
the same situation,
Right.
so I'm gonna give to you. Because when I was in that situation, a brother gave to me.
Right.
But you're already living good, basically. You have no distractions. You know what I
Right.
mean? But you're being tempted to become something more because the world told you, you know what? You got to have a good job. You got to have your woman and a
And
picket fence.
it's like you said,
Right.
that, that example is a brother that already has a job. It's a
Right.
brother that, got to get 2 jobs.
Right.
It's like, brother, you already got a job.
Right.
Go ahead and work that one job. You know what I mean?
Right.
We've seen that too. It's like all of a sudden they got to get 2 jobs. You know what I mean? It's just things that spirits come in and bring around to try to distract you more.
Right. They're temptations.
Exactly.
Diverse temptations. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
Right. The reason you count it all joy is because you know that as you get tried like this, it's working your patience. It's going to make you a patient person. It's going to give you a spiritual attribute of long suffering, they call
Right.
it. And you're gonna gain that through what? By trying your faith, by being drugged through temptations and coming out on top. All right. From there, go to Matthew 10:21, and we got about 8 minutes left, so
Yeah.
try to fly through some of these. All right, Matthew 10:21, just to prepare you once again that, he already said he's going to bring you at variance with your father. He's going to bring you at variance with your mother-in-law, your in-laws are going to hate you. You know what I mean? He already said these things. So just be prepared for it. All right, go ahead.
Matthew chapter 10 verse 21. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death.
Right, now he's telling you your own family is going to deliver you up to death. They're going to sell you out. All right, these things are going to happen as you go in the truth even longer. So if you haven't prepared for it from the start, just know at some point that might happen.
Yeah.
And it's not to scare you, it's to prepare you.
Right,
All
right.
right, go ahead.
And the father the child.
Right, go ahead.
And the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death.
Go ahead.
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
Wait, you shall be loved by all?
For ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
People are just going to adore you and want you in their house.
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
You're going to be hated of all people for Christ's sake. And that's what we're showing you, is that the reason it happened when you decided to open up the Bible is that's where you find Christ. St.
Yep.
John 7:38, St. John 5:39. You searched the scriptures, you found Christ, and now you're hated for that reason. All right. They're going to hate you. And like the brother brought out before, if they hated you in St. John 15, if they hated you, know first they hated Christ. So whether your father, your mother that hated you and threw you out is a minister, whether your woman is the deacon of the church or whatever she calls herself, whatever she was, she didn't really love Christ. All right. Because she hates you. And Christ said it, if you've done it unto the least of these, my children, my brethren, you've done it unto me.
Yeah.
So if she hated you, she left you, rejected you because you went into the word, she hated Christ too. She hated him first. She didn't really know him. All right. And she's going to be going through the scariest scripture. He or she going to be going through the scariest scripture in the Bible, which is, depart from me, you worker of iniquity, for I never knew you.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
But he that endureth to the end shall be saved.
Right. The one that has the easy life. Is that what it said?
But he that endureth to the end shall be saved.
Right. He that just coasts through life.
But he that endureth to the end shall be saved.
Right, the one that endures, the one that fights, the one that strives and makes it through this type of life, that person will be saved. You understand? All right, from there, we're going to go to Ecclesiasticus 2. All right, because it's been wanting to come out, and that's the thing is it's got to come out. This is a first scripture we like to give brothers and sisters when they come in. Is you got to make sure that you want to recite this to yourself. You want to get this to where
The whole chapter.
oh yeah, the entire chapter. We're gonna go through a few verses, but when you're at home, y'all viewers at home, man, please read the whole chapter. This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 2, and then you'll know why the church took it out, because they want parishioners who are lazy and stupid and sheeple so they can fleece the flock, take their money, and let them run rampant. But the thing is, the scripture told you that if you're going to come to serve the Most High, you're going to have to go through things.
Yeah.
You're going to have to endure a great fight of afflictions.
Right. Because your commitment is not to man.
Right.
It's to the Creator.
Exactly.
This ain't got nothing to do with man.
Yeah.
You understand? We're just tools.
Yeah.
We are tools.
Right.
Right here. We're tools. So our commitment ain't to necessarily to each other. It is first to the Most High. In return, we are committed to each other.
Exactly.
Right?
Because we want to build mighty men.
There you
we
go.
want to build strong warriors. We want to, and in that it makes us strong.
Right.
Bearing the infirmities of the weak makes us stronger. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare thy spirit for good times.
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
Get ready to get rich.
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
Yeah, your blessings coming out the sky.
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
Can I add one? There's an easier way, brother. Read it one more time.
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right. He said you got to prepare your spirit for
Right.
temptation, man. Not just a physical temptation, but your spirit will
yeah.
be tempted. All right, all the way down to your spirit is going to be tempted. You're going to all of a sudden, the finest woman on the block that you could never get is going to want to try to get at you all of a sudden, or the one job that you could never get. They all of a sudden going to
All the distractions.
Oh yeah, all the distractions. You know what I mean?
You know, we got to remember when Christ was taken up on the mount, what happened to him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what brothers and sisters don't realize.
Yep.
It comes right back to basic doctrine.
Oh yeah.
You know, Christ was taken up on the mount and the whole world said, listen, you can have all this.
Right. Yep. And you got to fight that. You got to endure that. Go ahead.
Set thy heart aright.
Set your mind, your heart, meaning your mind, set your mind aright, set your thoughts right. Get your thoughts prepared that you are not about to get rich.
Yep.
You are not about to come up. You know what I mean? You are not about to have your entire family, you know what I mean, coming in with Care Bear costumes on and loving you.
Right.
No, you are about to go through temptations.
Right.
Go ahead.
And constantly endure. And make not haste in time of trouble.
Right, he said, and constantly endure. You're going to be constantly enduring that fight of afflictions. All right, read on.
Cleave unto him, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at the last end.
Right, see, if you don't depart away, then he's going to increase you. But if you wait and if you faint, you give up. Proverbs 24:10. If you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is small, man. It's like being in a real fight. If you get knocked out by a jab, you should stop fighting. You know what I mean? The jab is just meant as a distraction. You know what I mean? If you ever look at boxing, they throw that out. Well, that's just a distraction for that left hook or for that real uppercut or something.
Right.
That's not a blow. But if you get knocked out by that, or you know what I mean? Like the little kids start crying on the video. You know, you get hit by a jab, you want to cry and bow out. You're a punk. You know what I mean? And that's what the Most High has proved you to be a punk.
Right.
If you got in a camp and you look left and look right and said, "Oh, these cats is living like they ain't got no Bentleys," I'm done. You just got knocked out by a jab.
They're working hard over here.
Yeah, your strength is small. You know what I mean?
Brothers and sisters, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. These topics, we hit a lot of these topics in class, and you can join us on the Ustream, ISBHPK on Ustream, and you can tune in to us on these class days. With that, we'd like to say peace, which is shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.